she had another guy, how could she be upset?
Tim, do you mind if I tell them?
She's terrifying.
Can I sit with you?
Yes, you can sit with me.
And we want you to sit with us. It's Dom.
And Ella.
You may know us from finding love on reality TV, and by that we mean with each other.
Two best friends figuring out life.
Chatting all things reality TV, because, how could we not?
And all things in between. Sex, relationships, dating, and navigating being a female in the world.
Unfiltered and fabulous advice
From your two besties.
Welcome back, everyone. We've got part 2 with Tim from MAFS. Let's see if he answers. Oh, no answer. On the phone, call you in 5 minutes. Yes, please.
Okay, cool.
Let's do that.
Okay. We're going to get back to that because that needs to happen.
What can you tell us that we didn't say? Like, what's something that you can tell us?
That you can tell
Honestly,
us.
I don't know, to be honest. Like, I feel like there's so much shit that went down. Like, I'll tell you about what happened for me and Sarah on our 4th day, maybe.
Yeah.
So day 3 is when I realized, when I think we both realized, like, oh, this isn't perfect.
Yeah.
But I realized because she's a serious woman and she takes things very seriously, and I'm a bit jokey,
Okay.
you know, and that's when I realized she was way more uptight than I am. I'm a bit more chill, maybe too chill for her.
Yeah.
And so we had an argument, and it was the first big one we'd had. And I was like, this is so wrong. Like, we have just met each other, and like, just relax. Like, literally, can you just fucking relax?
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. I did tell her that once before I said that on screen. I told her that once.
Yeah.
And she was like, don't tell me to relax. You never tell me to relax. I was like, okay, yeah, I won't.
And in that moment, you even want to say it even more.
more.
All right,
Literally,
okay, all right,
relax.
relax. You're like, see?
Yeah. So anyway, so we were like, oh my goodness, this is crazy. And I actually have like the recording though, because I went out and recorded on my phone on like, this is just something.
Or like the diary cam?
Yeah, diary
Oh my
cam.
God, can we watch it? Do you have it right now?
I think I probably have it. It'd be a long one, but I'll tell you the story and see if you
Okay,
watch
so
it.
all right.
So we blew up, had an argument. I'm like so confused as to what's going on. I was like, I can't deal with this. My mental health is more important to me than this like stupid show. Like, why are we even here if we're just gonna argue? And like, no way. So I was like, I'm taking the day off tomorrow. I'm done. So went to bed. Next morning I get up and go to the reception to book a surf trip. Because I was like, I'm in Fiji. This is sick. Like, some of the best surf in the world. Let's go. So I went to the receptionist and I was like,
Jono's calling. Jono.
Hey, Dom, how you doing?
Well, we've just got your mate Tim here. Tim refuses to tell us a story about what happened at one dinner party specifically.
Lauren was away.
When Lauren was away and Cass and Sarah were having a bit of a go. And we want to know what actually went down and what happened. Are you willing to tell us?
Tim, do you mind if I tell them?
At least he's asking this time.
Yeah, no comment, bro.
Oh, come on, man. I need your approval for this.
Is this when someone called someone a
Because that happened all the time on our season.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know the amount of times I called them all
All right,
multiple.
Yeah.
So hang on. So what
Also,
happened?
Cass called Sarah a
Or Sarah called Cass a
That's the one.
Really?
Sarah's like,
She's like,
Cass is like, it's the furthest away from as we know.
She's such a sweet
Yeah.
girl. Yeah. Because Sarah wasn't happy because
Gee, Sarah was triggered. That sounds like
Yeah.
Sarah was really triggered.
She was not happy
So
that Cass was coming.
that episode, I was like watching it all back.
Yeah.
I sat down that night and I'm like, I cannot wait for this episode because Cass destroyed Sarah. She just sat across the table from her, calm as a cucumber.
Why didn't they?
And just tore shreds through her about being pretty much the worst person she's ever met. And Sarah was going off and Tim took her out the back, like out to the cocktail room. And then, I walked out just to give them both a drink. And, I heard Sarah said, she called Cass the C word. And then I sort of went back in. Everyone's like, what are they going on about? And I was like, Sarah's just upset. And they're like, what did she say? And I'm like, nothing. And everyone was like, come on, tell us. And I was like, she's pissed at Cass. They could see them arguing while they're arguing. And I'm like, because Tim was like, you can't say that when she said it. And then she backed it up with, but she is a and and so I walked off.
wow.
was like, oh, Sarah just called Cass a mean word and Tim didn't agree with it. And everyone's like, but they cut it all. They cut it all out.
That is weird. Well, I do feel like the Cass and Sarah, like it didn't make sense to us.
Yeah,
it didn't make sense.
It's something that didn't make sense to me at all. And then at the reunion, I was like, what did we not see here? Like there's something. I feel like they had to choose not to air that feud because
maybe
there
they
was
didn't
just
have
too
enough.
much going on.
And yeah.
Yeah, I think there wasn't enough to actually build a full story around it.
Yeah.
All right, Jono. Well, thank you for that. Thanks. Bye.
Wow, Cass can really stand her ground. Didn't expect.
Yeah. Wow.
She was good. Yeah, she had a few
she
one-liners on a lot of people actually.
And like how Jono just said it, like she was cool as a cucumber every time she said it, and she'd be smiling. She'd be like, "You're just faking it," and like smiling, and I'm like, "Fucking Cass, actually."
So back to the honeymoon. This one.
Yeah, the blow up.
The specific blow up that you were just like, nah, see, I'm out. So you go to do surfing. What happens next?
Go to book the surf, and then my producer comes running up. She's like, "What's going on? What are you doing?" And I was like, "I'm done, man. This is crazy. Like, this girl is taking things out of me that shouldn't be taken out of me. You know, like at that point, I was like, literally, like, this is such a shame. Like, but I was ready to leave. And so she's like, "Well, can we film it?" And I was like, "Oh, yeah, all right. If you put it on, like, film me surfing, I'll just look like a G, you know?" Like, that's mad. And then we tried to organize it, and the wind picked up, and we couldn't go surfing. But they're like, "We've got you a jet ski instead." I was like, sick, all right. So I was just fanging around the jet ski and like hanging out, just having a great day. The whole day was
having a good time in
Fiji. It was sick, and I was like taking my mind off things, just you know, like having a sick time. And I was walking around the resort. It's because we're in this sick resort, and I was just like chatting to other couples there, you know, like, and they're like, "What's going on?" I was like, "Don't tell anyone, but I'm on a TV show."
Oh my God, hilarious. In Fiji.
Yeah, I was in Fiji. Like, so they're like, "Oh, sick." So I had a really good day. It was so nice. And then I come back, and then it's like, you know, the violins, like the cello's playing.
Oh my God.
And then sit down with Sarah, and she's like, what's going on? Have you thought about anything? And so this is where our communication difference was like so different, because I was like, I'm using this time to like get away and not think about anything. But she was using this time to think about what's going on. And she's like, "What did you think about?" I was like, "I haven't thought about anything, like nothing at all."
And that would have pissed her off.
Yeah. She was not happy about that. And it's sort of set the tone for that night. And that was when I told her to relax that night. And that's when she blew up. So we were literally towing though. We were like on such a good level. Like we were flirting. We had this good energy. Yeah. And then there was still tension in the air though. I think we both like you kind of pretended it wasn't. Yeah, and so it was kind of like laughing. So like I don't know where the line was, and then obviously that relaxed comment
set her off.
And I bet you wish you never said that.
Yeah,
and now you know never to say that to a female again, to tell them to relax, right?
Well, I'm not. Yeah, I was trying to make a joke about the tequila. So I think you can tell a girl to relax. I don't think it's
like
a bad thing.
It's all about the tone and the delivery.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, but see, if I knew that it was about tequila, it's a different.
Yeah, it was about the tequila.
Yeah, it wasn't just like, "Oh, relax, you're fucking being psycho." Or
usually
something.
I'm a bit faster with the delivery, but because I was on edge anyway, and I was
I don't blame you.
So. Yeah, normally I would have been like, "Are you Colombian? You should be able to handle a bit of tequila, like relax." Something like that.
Gotcha.
It was like a little flirty, you know that? Like,
it didn't feel like you were saying that at all.
It didn't feel like playful either.
Yeah.
But that was kind of where you were maybe trying to be.
I was trying to be. It probably didn't come across that way anyway, because I was nervous. I was like, you know, there was one point where they asked if I was intimidated by Sarah. Do you remember that?
Yes, I remember that.
Oh, maybe, I don't know. You know, like, I was like, I should have said yes.
Were you intimidated by her? Do you think now that you've, I guess, had time to reflect on it?
Yeah. She's terrifying.
I would be. I mean,
if she wants to be, she can be terrifying. Yeah, for sure.
Oh, yeah. She's like, I mean, if it was me in some of the situations that you were put in, and I had to be faced with that, I
could see why men would be intimidated by her, definitely. I would feel intimidated by her as a female. I definitely would feel as though, oh my God.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that, me as a viewer watching, I didn't feel like she was a very welcoming person. And that's just me like I'm allowed to have an opinion.
Yeah, for sure.
And I know not everyone would agree with that, but me watching, I could see that she had a lot of walls up. I could see that she wasn't allowing herself to lean into the experiment. Very much so at the honeymoon for you guys.
Yeah.
It was
it
very
did
like,
take a
it
while
was like she
for
was just
her.
trying to find things to nitpick and fight about.
Yeah, that is what that was a big part of my experience.
Mm.
But to her credit, like she was opening it up to things.
Yeah.
You know, like after
As time went on, she was actually
they actually did show this. She wrote a letter, right? She
Yes.
had a big letter apology,
Yes,
and
yep.
I had moved out of the apartment because that night on the commitment ceremony, like it was like the energy was so tense, and we were like sitting next to each other. Like I was like leaning this way, like I didn't want to touch her. And we didn't want anything to do with each other, and so production came up and was like, yeah, you guys are spending the night in separate apartments. And I was like, thank you. You know,
I've got to ask as well with the whole Jaden thing and the Jaden really going for Sarah. Like he was just and it was a bit weird. I felt I was like, why is he just like he just didn't
constant.
Just, like kept going.
Yeah, he did go at her a bit
because you guys were mates in there, weren't you?
Yeah.
Did you ever feel like? I mean, did you ever speak to him about it and be like, you know, man, like, you know, why
it's
are
such
you
a tricky one.
going
like,
from a girl?
Like, I don't know. Yeah, I know. Like, that's the thing. At that point in time, I was like, go at her.
Yeah.
I don't care. She just went and caught up with her ex. She cheated on me.
Yeah.
Like, I was like,
at that point, you're like, fuck,
I was like,
mate.
at least someone's going to hold her accountable. Because
Yeah.
I was, to be fair, if I did that, I was too scared to do that
Yeah.
because I was like, I don't want to get the reaction, you know, because I'm going home with her.
Yeah.
So
I don't wanna
you,
deal
just
with
to be
that.
clear, you were scared of her reaction, not of the reaction of what it would be like when the show aired. You were actually scared of her in the moment. I'm like, oh my God, what's it going to be like between us?
If I say something back.
Is that what you were?
Yeah. It was.
Yeah.
I was
Wow.
intimidated because she was very reactive.
Yes.
To a lot of things. Yeah, very hot-headed, and she's you know, self-described as fiery. So like, you have to be very careful with what you say, and like her friend group is small but loyal kind of thing. She's like that kind of girl. So she knows who she is as well. She knows that she can be like that. And so
she takes accountability for what she's like, but in terms of how it made you feel, you felt like you were walking on eggshells because you expected and you knew what was going to come if you clapped back.
pretty much, yeah. There was a lot of that going on, and I was like, you know, and
it wasn't worth it in the end, was it?
It wasn't worth it.
Just
Nah.
That's not a relationship.
No, it's not. It's toxic.
Yeah.
It
You know, it's
really is
unhealthy,
toxic.
and like when there's like, this is me playing psychologist again, you know, if there's because I've actually done a lot of work on kind of toxic relationships, and particularly narcissism and codependence,
Right.
and they're on like a spectrum, they're on a scale, and so if someone's behaving 80% narcissistic, whatever, then you kind of, to stay together, you need to kind of be 80% codependent, and so you fall into this phase, and so that's what was happening to me. It was like I was becoming codependent, which was kind of like I was almost like scared to lose her, even though like I wasn't being treated right. So
Shit, I get that.
it's so,
Oh my God.
it's so
Well, you kind of
interesting.
lose
Yeah,
yourself.
wow.
You
Yeah,
end up
for sure.
becoming what she needs and what she wants.
And that's
I
not
was trying,
codependent.
but the thing is, so I was trying so hard to do that and to give
Yeah.
her the space of what she needed, that I was just doing the opposite of what she needed, which was someone to pretty much tell her off, or like
stand up.
Yeah, stand up.
Kind
to
of give her back what she was. Yeah.
Exactly. And because I was just so cautious, and she was like, this guy's a little bitch. Like, he's not standing up to
I
me.
don't understand that though, because it's like she needed someone to be, you know, one thing, but then, you know, she's saying she needs you to be, you know, to clap back, and but if you did that, it was like, oh my God,
and be a big
that did happen.
fight.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Well,
it did
yeah,
happen,
and we
so-
saw it happen like a couple of times. You know, what did he say?
at the dinner party when you yelled.
Yeah.
When you said, I can't.
Yes, I did.
Yes.
Yes, I did.
And we were like, whoa.
I was like, yeah, I was,
And
damn, I
it's
shouldn't
like
have
the
yelled.
one time they show that you yelled, and then it's like, oh fuck, Tim's
But
raising his voice.
It was more like, finally, you know, like
Yeah.
it was almost like a ticking time bomb. When is he finally going to pop off? Because he's, you know, biting his lip. He's being very careful. And then it was like, that was your moment where
It
you
was
just
exactly
couldn't.
right.
Yeah.
And
Like,
I
you
was
just had
still
it.
upset at myself for doing that because I don't like yelling.
Yeah.
I don't like raising my voice, and I don't think you should have to in like an
If it
adult
gets to that.
conversation.
Yeah.
You know? You shouldn't have to feel so unheard that you have to yell.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I was upset at it, and I was like, damn, I'm gonna get grilled. You know, the exes are gonna take me to church. But they said exactly that. They're like, we saw you finally, like, you found your voice. That was a big thing. in that episode was like,
Yeah.
I finally found my voice and I finally drew the line in the sand, I guess.
Yeah.
So it was kind of a pivotal moment for me.
Yeah.
You know, because I just kind of realized on that couch session, I realized that I wasn't so crazy in my theories about what was going on, you know?
Yeah.
Because I was definitely losing myself.
Where are you at now? We saw Girlfriend Got Leaked.
Yeah.
Got leaked,
Was that like planned?
And did you get told
No,
off for
no.
going out with the new girlfriend while MAFS was airing?
Yeah, I got cancelled.
Oh.
I was like, damn, after everything I've been through. That
So they did. They cut you off for media and
everything, yeah.
Oh, wow.
I was like, oh, that's pretty annoying. But they're like, oh, they're just going to ask you and everything on all the shows about it.
Yeah.
And they didn't trust that I could just keep it on lock, you know?
Yeah, and also I understand that from their perspective
So
as well.
I
But
can
it sucks
as well,
for you.
to be honest. Yeah, it sucks for me.
Because that wasn't a staged thing at all. That you were like actually just fully
You know
packed.
what happened? I know exactly what happened.
Yeah.
We had like a little photo shoot for the newspaper here in the Gold Coast. Apparently they're dodgy with PAPS or something, I don't know. So they told this guy that we were going to meet for photos. So he was out, we saw him, he's taking photos. You know how they are, like sneaky.
Yeah.
We're like, you know,
looking
whatever,
real
this
shady in
guy.
their car.
Behind a
tree.
what the hell? That's a guy. Sus. Anyway, so he papped us there and I was like, oh sweet. And I went and caught up with Jack. I hadn't seen Jack for a while. And I was like, how you doing, bro? Like, how's your mental health? Kind of
Fuck.
thing.
Yeah, how's it going,
You
Jack?
know, like, are you okay? Sort of vibes. Like, I think he took it all pretty well. I don't think he's a bad person, but he's just says some dumb shit.
Dumb
Yeah.
shit. Yeah.
He's
Like,
from Warrnambool. He's a country boy. You know, like
That's
I think
Victoria.
there's a bit of different. I don't know. The culture's different out there. So
Yeah.
he grew up. Anyway, not that there's an excuse for some things that he did, and it was weird. Anyways, I was catching up with him, seeing if he's okay.
Yeah.
You know, because we were mates at the start of the show. We were mates, and then some. It all started going down. I was like, I don't think I really can be
So you're
super.
Not friends now?
I don't have anything against Jack.
Okay.
I like Jack, and
Yeah.
I would say I'm mates with him. Like if I see him, I saw him out at the Pav a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
We caught up, and it was cool. But we don't like hang out.
Yeah.
You know, I hang out with Jono. Jono's actually
Okay.
a mate, which is nice.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we're getting papped,
Yeah.
and I actually go and check out this car. I was checking out this car for sale. I was a test drive a car, and then I go to Barbie's house after that.
So Barbie's the girlfriend.
Barbie's and missus, yeah.
Okay.
And then I'm at her house for, don't know, maybe we're there for half an hour, 45 minutes. And then we go downstairs to get some food. And that's when he papped us.
That's insane.
That's crazy, hey? Because that's
They
like
follow you,
almost
man.
8 hours.
Yeah, they watch
Like,
you.
wild.
Just for that one shot,
Yeah.
man.
And look what that one shot got him though.
Yeah, he got good.
So that's
He-
why they're committed, man.
Yeah, crazy, hey?
Wow.
Insane.
And so did you see him pap
No,
you?
I had no idea. I'm going to respect the show. I didn't want to
Yeah.
get caught.
Yeah, you
We were-
didn't do it to actually fuck it up.
Yeah.
Exactly. And we were laying low too. We were like not going out and we were just, you know, keeping a low profile.
So when did you guys meet? Like, so you're now partner. How soon after, you know,
The show.
like you and Sarah obviously called it quits and,
Yeah.
you know, you went back to real life.
I knew her before the show,
Oh.
Okay.
but then we maybe like a month or two after the
Reunion.
we kind of rekindled.
Nice.
Yeah, and then it's just been like very smooth sailing ever since.
Well, that's
Wow.
nice.
So you're in a full-on relationship now.
Yeah, we're full on
You're
dating
happy
now. Yeah. I'm
and-
so happy. Yeah, she treats me so well and like.
I mean, after MAFS, everything will be
I
amazing.
know, that's what I thought. I'm like, is it just like, am I being delirious? But
How
no,
was
she's
it for
amazing.
her?
She's an incredible woman.
How was it for her, you know,
She hates it.
Yeah.
did she watch the show?
She said she didn't watch the show, but she definitely watched a few episodes. And yeah, it's a bit upsetting for her, a lot of the content around it.
Yeah.
Like, fair enough. There's nothing.
Yeah.
in
If she's on
there.
social media, it would be hard for her to not see something.
Exactly.
Because it just
yeah.
fucking pops up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but she's cool. She's really chill. Like she's
beautiful.
She's beautiful.
Gonna say.
She's a good woman.
Yeah.
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 She's stunning.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean, what
nice.
more do you want than that, really, right?
know,
It's
yeah.
just, you know, obviously, you know, you went in the experiment wanting and hoping to find a relationship,
Yeah.
but sometimes that's just part of your journey, you know. And I you know, we used to say that to each other as well. Obviously, our experience didn't end with the loves of our lives, but it's all led us to where we are today. And I think that that's
Yeah.
the real, you know, takeaway from the experiment. We've come to the point in the episode now where we're going to bring out the Sit With Us honesty box.
Oh,
I hope this isn't too triggering for you.
Okay.
We've got some questions from our listeners and followers.
Nice.
So go ahead. So pull
for it.
out a question.
It's the Sit With Us honesty box.
Yes.
There are articles circulating that you're a millionaire. Is this true? Ooh.
We did see this article actually.
Yeah, the article. I've made millions in revenue.
What do you actually do?
Do for
What is
work.
your
Yeah,
career?
what do you do?
How have you made millions in revenue?
E-commerce.
Okay.
Predominantly e-commerce, digital marketing,
And what does that mean?
online shopping.
Oh.
Yeah.
So
like
what do
Amazon
you sell?
store.
What do you sell on Amazon?
At the moment, actually, I'm on Amazon. Skincare.
Oh.
What kind?
I got a vitamin C serum and a retinol cream.
Do you
Wow.
use them?
Yeah, I use them when I am in routine. You
Mm.
know, if definitely I love them.
Yeah.
It's so good. But I'm just a bit lazy.
Okay.
And sometimes I'm on and off with my skincare.
Wow, that's
like most men.
amazing.
Yeah, that's very interesting.
Wow, congrats.
So random when we saw, I was like, what? That's so random that it's going around.
So
But
random, yeah.
it's true. There you go,
Well,
guys.
Net worth, not a million.
But made.
But
Yeah, and
Revenue.
also like you
will be soon.
I think
We'll get
that's
there.
great that you've I think it's amazing. That's tough. I know a lot of people that actually have tried to do that.
It is
it's
tough. Yeah, it's
You got to
cutthroat.
stick to it, and it's not like an instant money maker, is it? It's something that you've got to really work hard at.
Yeah, it's like I think most business,
Okay, well that one
Okay.
good.
So that's
All right,
true.
we got that
All right.
sorted.
borderline, not quite true, but is the way he came across on TV an accurate representation of himself? I think overall probably yes. Like there was a lot of times where I felt like I wasn't able to be myself. Like what I said in the dinner parties, I probably would have got a bit. I'm not really one to get involved in other people's relationships typically, but I probably would have gotten a bit more involved if I had felt more comfortable within my own relationship. Because I'm sort of like people in glass houses shouldn't throw stones.
Yeah, so you didn't feel like you needed to say anything or should say anything because you're like, well, my relationship isn't perfect, so I've got no right to say
exactly.
anything.
And that's the thing. People are like, oh, well, you can't talk because you're going through this.
Well, how did you feel when people like Timothy would then talk shit about other people's relationships when he can't even hold his partner's hand or
He
sleep in the
cried when he
same
kissed
bed?
her.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Remember?
He kissed
cried?
her, and then
Remember
he
when
cried.
he kissed her and then he walked off and cried?
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. I forgot
Like it
about
wouldn't have been just the same moment, but like
Yeah.
What is your opinion on that? Like
Their
it was
relationship.
very weird. Like Lucinda was obviously trying to give it
Everything.
her best, everything,
Yeah.
and he was just like, what was he waiting for? Like the moment he was waiting for the spark or the
I personally think he just wasn't physically attracted to her.
that for sure. No,
Well, 100%. I
definitely.
mean,
I think that's
100%.
as simple as it gets. That's
Yeah,
just what it
that is as
was.
simple as it
But
gets.
why
Yeah.
stay then? Like, what is he just
yeah,
a
I think
gossip
they were
girl?
just having a good time. I think it's the
But
same.
were they
thing.
having
Like,
a good time though?
there was a lot of storm outs. Timothy was like number one for storm outs. Like there was one moment where he was like, it was like raining, gloomy Sydney winter, and it was raining, and he's like, they're like filming him storming out in the rain. He's like walking in the rain. They didn't show that scene, but he had a lot of storm outs.
He had a lot of like real emotional breakthroughs
Yes.
though.
Yeah, so I think that was
was
his story. I thought he was going to be the villain. I was like, this guy, because he's just coming at everyone with no legs to stand on, Like
Yeah.
he's like an interesting character. He's got all these different
There's
layers.
a lot of layers to it.
He's got some stories, but
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah,
I mean,
so I
you-
think that I don't think that their relationship was real, in terms of an actual romantic relationship.
no.
It was a piss take in terms of that. Like, and there was a few moments where Jaden was good at this. He did call people out, like called a spade, and he would he called out Timothy a few times.
Well,
like,
he did,
he's
yeah.
like, we're in a relationship show, like,
Yeah.
you could at least try and be in a relationship. Otherwise, why are you here?
It felt like Lucinda was his life coach
Yeah.
throughout
Yeah,
the season.
basically,
It
yeah.
felt like she was helping him, coaching him, mentoring him. Like,
Yeah.
And it got exhausting towards the end, to be honest with you. It's like, oh, come on.
like she
either give us, either fucking just take it to bed or do something.
I know. That's what I was
Yeah.
like, man. Is it that hard?
Is it
Like,
that-
Yeah.
That's what I don't understand.
it
It's
was-
like, or as my mum likes to say, shout out to my mum, who, big MAFS fan.
Shout out to the mums.
Shout out Anna, who just thinks that Timothy likes the 30-year-olds. Confirm or deny?
Confirm for sure.
Yeah.
What?
It's-
23 was his last girlfriend.
I
It
didn't. We
was on the show.
We missed that. Oh, well, there you go. Maybe that's why Anna knew
listen.
that.
Oh, no wonder Mum was like, you've got to ask about
Yeah,
this. And I'm like, what do you
okay.
mean?
Yeah.
Oh,
So his last
okay.
missus was so young, and so
But they pair him with Lucinda. God, that's a stitch up.
Yeah.
it was. I think because he was saying that at the start as well. To be fair, he was like, "Oh, they didn't give me what I asked for, and I don't think they gave her what she asked for."
Right.
So like,
I mean, big time.
Yeah.
And emotionally cut off.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was not. And he goes on about it as well. Like at least he was honest, you know, in a lot of ways. He's like, I don't like that shit. I don't like talking about my emotions and, you know.
But he was really like, I mean, I thought it was pretty amazing to watch his story and his journey.
And the
like a grown man,
yeah.
like just be so vulnerable and like see him break down so many times.
Yeah, I think Lucinda really got to him in that way.
Yeah.
It was kind of like, you know, it's not that bad to just let it out. And I think he definitely went through some tough times and he just buried it. And he joked about that all the time.
Yeah.
With the boys, but then I think behind closed doors, Lucinda kind of was slowly drawing things out, and that was probably why she's hanging around. She's probably just enjoying that experience. You know,
I feel like I feel like she enjoyed.
Yeah, she loves to dance. You've heard that.
She loves to dance.
She definitely does. Yeah. Do you wish afterwards that you had said no at final vows? That is an interesting question. You know, like I said before, like it would have been. I think it might have been cooler to. Like, because Sarah and I aren't together now, obviously.
Yeah.
It might have been cooler to dump her in like a spectacular fashion because, you know, we're on TV.
Yeah.
But not really. Like, we were in a good place. We were
Okay.
in a good place and we were on a good level and we were actually enjoying each other's company. So, you know, I was still like just living in the moment. I feel like that's nice. It's a nice thing to do. Like,
it's like you wanted to say yes. I guess like a yes or no decision, right? But you knew when you left you weren't going to be together.
I think that just shows that
or did you want to actually like
Yeah.
date or hang out when you left?
well, that was the weird thing. So we did, like, after final vows, I went to Sydney twice.
Wow.
So we were kind of in this sort of see how it goes. Because I was like, all right, so something's clicked for her. And she's finally like able to just let me be me and enjoy that about me.
Yeah.
Like, she's finally just able to enjoy me for me kind of
Yeah.
thing, without having these weird unrealistic expectations on like how you should be treated in a relationship and what she needs. So we finally were in a good place.
Okay.
So I was like, all right, well, like, if we're enjoying hanging out with each other, why would you stop?
Yeah. And so then you hung out a couple of times, you went to Sydney, and then it was reunion.
What made you trust that Sarah had only emotionally cheated, and how could you forgive her? The thing is, I'll never know if she only emotionally cheated or not, right?
What does your heart tell you?
I think that, I don't know if I'm being naive or not, but I don't think that she slept with him. I don't think that she would have done that. But, you know, it's so hard.
Because you said that she was weird when you went to Byron. Do you think that was guilt? Do you think that guilt was playing?
I think there might have been an element of guilt or, you know, because she had this weird thing with him where for 5 years that she obviously was still into him. And she said it wasn't a relationship. It was just
so
sleeping with each other. But like, yeah, for such a long period of time, there are emotions involved.
100%.
Yeah.
And like, if you go and, put yourself in her shoes. You're currently filming the biggest reality TV show in the country. You go and see your ex during filming whilst you're technically in a relationship.
And she asked for something nice to wear and, you know, like.
Of course you're going to come back and be, like, imagine coming back to set to the apartment and like how you would feel. Of course she's going to be feeling fucking weird. Like,
but like
she
asking something for something to wear and like telling Eden that she was, that just, it doesn't sit well with me. It's like an egotistical thing. It's kind of like I'm flashing this. No, but also like I'm also making it known to someone in the experiment that I'm going and doing this.
Very
crazy.
But I'm with Tim and
so I was like, what the fuck, man?
Like, that's something
TV, bro. Like,
that's what just plays on my mind, to be honest with you. Does she just have like balls of steel, or does she just think she's king shit? Because honestly, to go to Eden and be like, I need to borrow something, a nice top because I'm catching up with my ex.
Like, were they really close at that point in time? Like, did she really think that?
They were close, yeah. I think that because her and Eden were friends from day one, like from the Hens Night. She was texting Eden on our honeymoon and asking, because Eden didn't know who she was going to get married to. And what did I say? I was like, oh, you're going to get married to, I think I said Jono. I told her she's going to Perth for a wedding. No, I don't know. I don't even know what they said, but you know, I had no idea what I was talking about.
Yeah.
So I heard something at the Bucks night and I sort of misheard it. So it was just Chinese whispers and I said it up wrong, but.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, well, that's.
Yeah.
So yeah, they were good friends. They were really good friends. So I think Sarah trusted that Eden wasn't going to say anything. But
I don't blame Eden at all for saying something though.
Me either.
I mean,
think it's the right thing to do.
That's like
it would have been
that's
very
cooked,
hard.
man. It's
Yeah.
not like hiding a secret of something else that's entirely unrelated to the show, but you're on a show about relationships.
That's a big thing.
And
it's
you're
not-
cheating.
Yeah, you're doing the wrong thing, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Who wants to cover that up?
Yeah.
This day and age, like, you're not 20, you're not like this. I don't know.
No.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Just immature.
Yeah. Wow.
Interesting.
Okay.
Okay.
So I don't know whether she did or not. I just
Yeah.
decided to give her my trust
Yeah.
because I feel like I personally feel like that's a healthy thing to do is just like to give people your trust. And then if
Good
they,
man.
if
And it was
they-
your experience. You wanted to keep going. You wanted to try to believe that maybe
I wanted to
everything
see
should
if
be the
there was
same.
a
It's true.
possible change that could have been made. But yeah, anyway, how could you forgive her? Like I didn't really forgive her. Like it took, I guess it's all done and dusted now, but it did take a while to like even
Forget? Did you try to forget instead of
yeah.
forgive?
I think forgiving it's going to take time.
Yeah.
you know? That kind of thing it's pretty heavy.
Yeah.
And it's shattered glass, so it's not going to
100%.
just like,
And it's on a TV show. It's like you look like a fucking idiot.
Exactly,
Like all
yeah.
of those
I'm
things.
like-
It's
I'm
like
like,
your
I'm still
ego
look
playing
like a-
into it. Like, oh my God, are you joking me? Like, what
Yeah.
am I? Chopped liver here? You know, it's all
No,
that
for
comes into
sure.
play.
There was a lot.
Totally. Oh, you were like really cool, calm, and collected. I would have fucking lost my shit if the person I was with did
Yeah.
that to me. Woo!
Oh man, are you
Yeah.
kidding me?
Mate.
Like I would have really struggled to
Oh,
go back from that.
no way.
Yeah.
It was a struggle, yeah.
Yeah.
It was a struggle, but you know, it is what
Well-
it is. Did you want to push Sarah more about the phone challenge? Oh, interesting.
Oh yes, I'm glad we put that question
Yes.
in
Yeah.
there. Oh, and do you think that had anything to play into the whole X?
Yes.
Oh,
100%.
Yeah,
What do you mean,
100%.
duh?
Yeah.
Of
Hey, I'm
course.
just saying.
Yeah, no,
Of
for sure. Like,
course.
it definitely like started to click as for everyone, you know, like, oh, that's the reason why she didn't want him to look through her phone.
Yeah.
It was weird because I would have been okay with not doing it. I was okay with not doing it.
Yeah.
But just the way that she reacted on it, I was like,
Wow.
oh, okay, so maybe she does have something to hide. Because she's like, no, I'm not doing. Like, she's like so firm. It wasn't like a gentle, warm negotiation on like,
Yeah.
oh, how do you feel about this? Because I would have been like, I actually feel like it's kind of weird, you know?
Yeah, you would have been like, look, I don't really actually want to look at your phone.
Yeah,
I feel like
I wouldn't have.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, there
You
you
know,
go. But her being so just
On the defense.
Yeah, exactly. It was too defensive, and I was like, oh wow, that's actually a bit concerning. But I still chose to just be like, look, whatever. We're still early days. I don't really care, you know. Like I don't
feel
really
like when
know the
people-
six properly yet. Like emotions aren't involved yet, so I
Yeah.
didn't really care at the time. It was sus for sure.
Well, when people don't participate, I feel, in those types of challenges where that's a challenge for trust. Like it was just like my partner, when I did MAFS, we had the phone challenge and he had a vault.
It's actually where it started,
It's-
Tim. So
yeah.
you really do need to
Really?
go
This
back.
challenge,
yeah,
was the beginning.
You need to go back.
Because another couple had given this task to me and my partner, and he had a vault in his phone and I was not allowed to go in it.
Oh wow.
So that's where that whole task
Sus,
came
yeah.
from.
Really?
And
yes,
yeah.
it's where it was birthed.
Yeah.
Damn, there you go. So did you
And-
find out what was in the vault?
Whatever you could imagine is in the vault.
It's
Yeah.
all the fucking shit you don't want anyone to ever see, hear, smell, anything.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, fair enough.
If you know
What's
what I'm
thoughts on
saying.
that? Like, do you guys delete all your shit?
No. Well, I'm married now, so I'm like, babe, you can look through my phone. I couldn't give a shit.
I know, but like for like old stuff, would you have any past relationships on there? Photos?
Nudes or like risky shit?
Let's just go not anything.
I don't have anything of any exes now.
Even photos.
Well, I've got stuff from MAFS and from Made in Chelsea, but my last boyfriends before that was 10 years ago.
Yeah. I've got some things, but not like a lot.
Do you think Sarah's edit was accurate?
Oh.
Yeah, I think her edit was accurate for sure. Like I think that like I said, a lot of things happened behind the scenes that they didn't catch, which I wasn't happy about, but probably she could say the same. You know, like so yeah, I don't think that they manipulated her in any way that wasn't her. They were big on the chopping. They chopped like you said something in this scene and then they put it in that scene.
Yeah.
But overall, like I don't think they didn't change the messaging.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was exactly what happened.
Well, because ultimately, like you film for, 4 months of your life and they're filming a lot. And, what you see is what you get. At the end of the day, you're filming for that long. that's what they're getting from you.
Yeah.
That's who you are.
Yeah,
I also feel like
exactly.
Sarah's not really the kind of participant that is easily manipulated by production. I feel like she's pretty willing to just be like, I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm going to say. Like, do you know what I mean? Yeah.
She was good. I was more like influenced by production. You know, they got in my head much more than hers.
Yeah.
Who else do you think in the team of 2024 would, in your opinion, have been really swayed by production?
Don't know, like they obviously don't make you do anything you don't want
Who's
to do.
Teacher's Pet?
But
AKA Producer's Pet.
Teacher's Pet.
Yeah.
Oh. I don't know.
Because come on, we know.
I feel like Lauren was the producers were Lauren's pet. You know, like she's good at the script. Everyone, I don't know. She knew what she was doing. She played a good game. Like,
interesting. A few people have said that now about it.
Crazy. Like they because she is funny. She's very funny, but she was definitely not like her and Jono were struggling. I don't think she was. I was Jono's mate, so I heard Jono's side of it as well. And
I couldn't watch them like it was hard to watch them because I'm like there is nothing there.
There's nothing.
It's very clear.
Yeah, I know.
Like how much longer can we go along here?
And I did feel like with Jono, I don't know, for some reason, like Lauren was great for their relationship, but I felt like for Jono, I'm like, who is this character on this show? Like, what's his character?
His personality?
Yeah, like what, you know? I don't know.
And what was his place?
Yeah, I don't know. Until obviously all the stuff came out with Ellie, that was like, okay, that's his place. But before.
But you didn't know that. So they didn't show any of that. They didn't really show much of what happened. So I think this is where, in terms of the edit, I feel like they edited a lot out. I feel like Jono got a bad edit and Lauren got a good edit. Out of like, you know, you still say what you said and did what you did, but I feel like they made it because they knew Jono and Ellie ended up together. They wanted to frame it like there was this massive cheating scandal and like Lauren was hurt about it. Whereas,
do you think Lauren was hurt about?
She was embarrassed. I feel like I don't think.
Yeah, there's a difference.
Okay, there's a difference between.
She was not emotionally involved with Jono at all.
Yeah. That's
embarrassed because she wanted to be the one that got cheated on and everyone feels sorry for her, or
I don't know. I just feel like I was out here playing checkers, not even that, you know? I'm playing with sticks and like these girls are playing 3D chess. Like they knew what they were doing and like I was like, damn, I'm just trying to be in a relationship here.
Yeah.
Like,
fuck.
But
So
like,
I
that's
feel
what we hear about this,
Yeah.
how people can go in there so calculated and know what they're doing. And it's like, how do you even do that in there? Because if you're there for the right reasons, like you were clearly, you're just focused on yourself and your partner.
Yeah.
Like,
And
how are you
ultimately-
thinking about
Most
all
of
these
what-
moving
exactly.
parts.
But
What
ultimately,
you're gonna
you don't
look
have
like.
control over shit either at the end of the day. Like, you've got to have some balls to go in there and be like, I'm fucking king shit here
Yeah.
and everyone's going to listen to me.
Yeah.
Like, that's either going to fall and crumble and
But do we
fuck you up.
do we
Or-
think that's what happened with Lauren?
From what I've heard from a lot of people, I think she went in there thinking she was king shit. Yes.
And now that it's over, what do we think that the general public think of her?
everyone loves her. She's like,
And why do you think everyone loves her?
Because I think she copped a good edit. Because there was moments where she's like saying that she's upset about the whole situation, and she's like, "Oh, I was actually like letting Jono in," and they didn't show any of the.
But see, when she would say that, I wouldn't believe that at all because from what I'm seeing, you're not
Yeah.
actually.
But you have the experience as well, and like
Yeah, true.
think
I guess
you're
we're
more
coming from it
savvy
from a
and-
different.
And there are a lot of people who kind of just take what they see. They're not trying to think about there are producers, there are like.
But now it's like
moving pieces in the background.
we know that they had a pact from the get-go. So it's like now the show's over. Everything that Lauren was crying over, it
was all
wasn't-
bullshit.
Exactly. So if she's had a pact, how could she possibly be like upset?
Yeah.
You know, and if she had another guy, how could she be upset? And
But that makes it all
Yeah,
not
but,
genuine to me. Like that makes me just be like really. It gives me like Brother vibes.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. It was.
Yeah.
It's a shame, you know,
It is a
because like
shame.
because you can have such a beautiful experience. Like even if you just go on and have like a fling,
100%.
you can just like you
Oh
can
my
learn. You
God.
can
That's
still
what we
learn a
both
lot
had.
about.
You know, and that's what we had. Like, yeah, our relationships didn't work out, but we gave it everything,
And we had
it's-
the best time.
Yeah.
We loved it.
To me,
Yeah,
that
it's a
doesn't
shame,
make sense.
hey?
It's like go in there and actually enjoy it.
Did Sarah actually hook up with her ex?
Oh,
we've-
Kind of covered that. I
Yeah.
don't think I'm ever gonna know. I don't think that she might have kissed him. I don't know.
yeah.
But I don't think that they slept together. I don't have that feeling.
Yeah.
You know.
Do you feel like you need to know?
No, I don't care.
He's
it's
over
done.
it.
It's
It's
done.
done. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Do you think the public's perception of her shifted big time after that? Like, do you think she ever really gained anything back?
I think she did, yeah, for sure. Like, I feel like the last few weeks of us just being kind of good together and her trying to make it up to me was good for her image. I think personally, I don't really know much, to be honest.
Yeah,
But
That's interesting.
like
That's
people
your perspective, because I don't think that's actually the public sentiment. To be
So I
honest
went
with
out to
you.
Darwin for just like a
Club
club
appearance?
appearance.
Oh, yeah.
I
Was she
did
there?
that. I did that.
No, she was there the week before.
Oh, okay.
I
And
went
the-
solo and got really lit.
I went solo as well.
Oh, you
I
did?
got really lit.
Oh
I was
my
like,
God,
damn.
fun. I had the best time. Actually,
Yeah.
the best time.
Crack up.
It's hilarious.
And they were like, oh, we actually had to get extra security because we were worried that she's going to get jumped.
Oh.
Things are bad. But it was fine.
So you're
Everyone
not
loved
online.
her.
You're not like looking at the comments. You're not seeing
Not
the
so
things.
much,
I
yeah.
think,
And her TikToks.
you know, look, personally, for what I feel, I think that she knew she fucked up with the X thing when it came out, and she tried to stay in the experiment, tried to redeem herself, hoping that would get it back. But I don't think. I think the public, especially when it comes to a relationship show, really don't like cheaters.
Yeah.
And I think it's very
Fair
hard
enough.
to.
Like, what
I mean,
the
totally
hell?
fair enough. Like we've all know someone that's been cheated on.
You
We
can
know.
do is
Yeah.
like, what the hell?
But also on this show where it's about marriage.
yeah,
Like it's about commitment. It's about relationships. Like you're
Yeah.
there
It's
to
not like
learn
Love
about.
Island or something. where you
why
get
you're
Exactly.
single,
It's
you know?
not like
Yeah.
go fuck around and stuff.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Now that you've done, that's been your journey. You know, you filmed the show. You
reality TV show. Tick.
you know,
Done and dusted,
what's
yeah.
next for you? Like, where do you see life? What does
What do you want to do?
What do you want to do now? And where do you see your career going? Your relationships? What's life look like for you?
Yeah, it's a good question. I've actually been sort of having my own little deliberation week lately.
Yeah.
I'm pretty lost. Like I just bought a truck.
It happens. Trust me. After the show, we were all there. It's like it's a thing.
You're in limbo with
Yeah,
life.
it's
I'm like,
full on
damn,
lost.
What am I doing? Like,
Oh yeah.
so I bought a truck with some skip bins. So
Yeah.
I've got a new business that's just launched.
Oh cool.
Pretty random. So, but the construction industry in Australia is so
It's
good.
just booming.
So I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah,
like, let me get in on that.
yeah.
So there's that. But then I don't know what I want to do. Like I just don't know. Maybe use my profile. I like being on TV was cool.
Yeah.
But I feel like I should be more strategic with it. But at the same time, sometimes I'm like, I just want to surrender to life and experiences.
But sometimes that's the best thing to do as well.
Yeah.
Just go with the flow. I think ultimately you just got to be happy in whatever you choose, right? And
Yeah.
it seems to me that you're really happy with life and your relationship and everything else. So just go with it, really.
And
I
that
think
you've come out the other end.
Yes.
And you've won. You're in a relationship.
Yeah.
Like
I know,
that's.
yeah. I'm head over heels as well. So in love with her. So it's like.
Oh, that's
It's-
so
We love love.
nice.
It's
crazy. Yeah, it's like every
Oh,
time I just like
we
look at her and we just
love
smile at each other, like,
Aw.
oh, it's
That's the best. Just
yeah.
smitten.
Yeah, we're
Aw.
just so in love with each other. It's crazy.
Oh.
Oh,
I
that
don't
makes
think
us
I've really
happy.
had it like this ever before. So
Really?
yeah, I'm stoked.
Oh.
See, well, maybe you needed MAFS to
Maybe,
kind
yeah,
of
exactly.
teach you, know,
prepare
what-
you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
prepare
Well,
you.
that's
and-
what I felt for me. Like before MAFS, I was single for 10 years.
Really?
Yes.
Damn, that's a red flag.
Yeah, big red flag. Hey, that's why I went on the show. I'm like, what the fuck's wrong with me?
Yeah.
But it wasn't me. It was everyone else.
Yeah. fuck
But
that.
I felt like MAFS prepared me to then be ready for my person now.
Yeah, that's a good point because it does actually it does gear you up for commitment, doesn't it?
100%.
Somehow.
But you're
does.
also like, you learn so much about yourself. Like you
Mm.
kind of grow the fuck up a bit. Like you get
Yeah.
over things that you might be repeating like bad patterns and behaviors, and you kind of like, you grow up on reality TV, especially MAFS,
Yeah.
because it's
Yeah,
not
I
like
think
any show.
Everything, not all of your issues, but a lot of your sort of issues just get shone out to
And
the whole Australia.
exactly. Like you're
Everyone's
forced
like,
to
"Oh,
talk
wow."
about things.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
really are.
Yeah.
And it's uncomfortable, but
Yeah.
amazing.
Well, Tim, thank you so much for coming and sitting with us today. Honestly, it's been very insightful, and I'm so glad that we got you on the podcast.
No worries,
and
yeah,
you
thanks
got
for
a
having
chance to kind of have your, share your story and what happened, because I think there was so much more that we really wanted to see of you. And we really appreciate you coming here, and opening up to us. It was really great. And I think
thank
the
you.
honesty box questions were amazing. So thank you guys.
To the listeners.
They were good, yeah.
Yeah.
Appreciate the questions from everyone.
And good luck with whatever's next. And
Yes.
I'm sure, we probably won't actually see it online because you're not that online apparently, but.
Well, once you get your
maybe.
socials back,
yeah,
keep everyone updated.
might have to.
You have to hard launch your Barbie.
Yep.
You have to
I
hard.
think she can get hard launch.
And your skip bins, hey.
And the
Yeah.
skip bins,
Mate,
yeah.
if you're in Sydney, I need a skip bin. So I always need a skip
Everyone's got
bin.
that
Always.
trash. Take out the
Yeah,
trash.
exactly.
From MAFS.
Always taking out that trash. Hey, I like that. You should.
Yeah.
Oh.
We'll workshop it.
Yeah, workshop it.
Amazing.
Thanks so much, Tim.
Thanks,
Thank
ladies.
you.
Appreciate it.
Thank
That was
you.
fun.
Oh,
Yeah.